So today we're running through one of our recent deals on Sloane Gardens. You join me on the very road I just mentioned. We've recently sold a property here with an asking price of £2.4 million, and seeing that you guys really enjoyed the last deal explanation video on Westbourne Gardens, if you haven't seen it, make sure you go down and have a look. We've decided to film this one today. Before we jump into it, make sure you like and subscribe and comment for the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't checked out my new website, bartcommunity.com, make sure you go there and check out all of the amazing things that we're going to be posting soon, including events, courses, and anything else that you guys might find useful. Let me know in the comments. So this deal in particular was quite challenging. We took the property on from another agency who had previously had it on the market for a year, and they struggled to sell it. So the client contacted us to see if we could help, and we decided to take the mandate on. We provided some really firm advice as to how we should proceed moving forward with the listing, and the results were pretty incredible. So, as I said, it was on the market for a year. Previously with no luck, no real offers, and within probably about 3 weeks of us taking it on, we did about 20 viewings and generated 3 offers on the property, which is basically what we try and do with every listing that we have. We try to put together a roadmap and a strategy that allows us to increase the exposure on the property and therefore increase the viewing numbers. And as we all know, when you have more viewings, you're likely to get more offers, and the more offers you have, the higher price you ultimately achieve, because people obviously compete against each other and bid each other out. So with every listing we take on, that's the sort of environment that we try to create around the listing, and by doing so on this property we managed to get it sold. Now, it's not always that simple. Certainly in this case there was a lot of hard work that went on behind the scenes once we actually agreed the deal. So whilst we did that part very quickly, the actual conveyancing on this one took a long time because of various factors. So we had a mortgage in place, but the mortgage was for an international buyer whose income was abroad in Europe, and so we had to get specialist financing for this buyer in particular, and there was a lot of back and forth between the lender and the solicitors, and obviously we were in the middle trying to manage that. At the same time, the seller of the property on Sloane Gardens was buying another property, and so we had to handle that whole transaction in tandem with this one, what's known as a chain, and exchange contracts and execute the whole deal simultaneously with that other deal, which is not always very simple to do. So all of those twists and turns delayed our ability to execute on this one. If you watched the last video, we exchanged contracts on Westbourne Gardens in 2 hours. This one took more like 2 months, which is probably customary, but it just goes to show that not every deal is as simple as we want them to be, and as a good agent you really have to sit there and troubleshoot everything. I think I counted, and I can put it on the screen, on this deal in particular there was 500 emails, right? So 500 emails that were received and sent out in terms of back and forth between lawyers, mortgage brokers, the actual bank itself, the buyer, the seller, the other deal, the other solicitors. I think there was probably about 15 to 20 stakeholders in the whole transaction. So as an agent, you've got to be really organised and good at communicating to get a deal like this through. With poor agency, if the deal was just handed over to the solicitors and left, this deal would have never gone through. I'm absolutely convinced of that. And so we pride ourselves on trying to provide a really good service and keep everyone informed, which eventually helps the deal go through. So yeah, asking price was 2.4. For those of you that are interested in the numbers or potentially interested in becoming an agent, I always like to indicate how much commission you can make on this sort of thing. Our standard fee is 2.5%, but industry average, I would say, is probably about 1.5%. If you're a good agent, you can probably get 2%. So on a property that sells for 2.4 million, you can expect £48,000 in commission. obviously plus VAT. And if you work as a broker, that £48,000 in commission can be split. So in some cases 50% will go to you as the broker. And so if you're an agent doing this transaction at a brokerage and you're entitled to 50% of the fee, then by doing this deal you would have made £24,000, which is really good going. I think, you know, most salaries in the UK are £24,000. So to get that from doing one deal is really, really good. But it's not that easy. It requires a lot of grit, and it's not like you're doing a deal like this every week. So yeah, you've got to be really good with your money, pipeline everything quite well. And as you guys know, it just takes some time, right? So it took us 2 months to exchange contracts on this, but before that we had to spend obviously a month marketing it and getting these offers. And for about a month before that, we were obviously getting in touch with the client, onboarding, getting the marketing ready and all of that sort of stuff. So realistically, it's more of like a 4 to 6 month timeline with every client that you're dealing with before you eventually get paid. And so whilst making 24,000 or 48,000 from one deal sounds amazing, there's a lot of hard work that goes into it, and you've really, really got to be patient and be very good at managing your money, which for those of you that have been here from day one will know that I'm really interested in on the personal finance side of things. But anyway, hopefully that gives you an insight as to how we do things and how realistically things go with these transactions as a broker. It's not always easy. Sometimes it takes a bit of time, but when it's done, it's really satisfying and we're really happy. And we get to say that we've sold a property on this beautiful street on Sloane Gardens, just off of Sloane Square. As always, if you've got anyone or if you know anyone that's selling or buying in London, or if you're selling or buying in London, make sure you get in touch with me. My contact details are below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm. Check out my new website. And with that being said, thanks for watching. See you next time.